Okay, we are back with the autistic white screen. This time we're going to be covering one of my clients, Dan's case study of how he lost 11 kilos in 90 days and some change, utilizing the two methods I teach. Look like you train, training method, and the keep it simple, tasty, repeatable food model. Let's get it. So you can see here the timeline. Roughly over the course lost close to 12 kilos. Started back in December, really sort of hit the peak roughly around that sort of March time of like his lowest sort of lows. And then from here, we've just been now maintaining, but we'll get into that as well. So his 90-day plan was, I want to look like I train. The timeline, roughly, we wanted 90 days. Again, I always like to tack on a few potential 4 weeks on either side, just to make sure that we actually land there. Because again, you get sick, touch wood, there could be an injury, life happens. Again, we want to have a little bit of breathing space and stuff. Weekly targets as well, which we'll get into, which ultimately got us to this sort of super strong, jacked dad look, which is fucking awesome. So most people start a fat loss phase hoping that it will work. Me and Dan, we didn't do that. Before we changed a single calorie, we mapped out the entire 90 days. So how much weight we wanted to lose, when we might need some breaks, if we had anything coming up with like as far as work stress or whatever, and what training would look like. Training is probably one of the one things that, yes, it stays the same, but as we start to fatigue and get deeper into a cut, things can sort of definitely change. So we want to make sure that like we've got some sort of reactive model for that as well. And what success really looked like each week. Like, what did it mean that we got a green light, or did we get a yellow light, or is there a red light and something? So the target wasn't random. We were looking at roughly about 300 to 500 grams of body weight per week, which over this 90 days roughly puts us 6 kilograms lighter just from the calorie deficit alone. That meant every decision had a purpose. He wasn't guessing, and there was no more reacting emotionally. Because a plan doesn't remove the hard work. You still have to fucking work hard. Like just getting a coach and following a program and stuff, like that's great. But you really have to be willing to making sure that where that light's being shined, you're willing to work hard in those areas that you suck at. And that's what Dan did. Because we only fixed the problem that needed fixing. We didn't just try and find a silver bullet and just find that everything just fixes one thing. There's a lot of different things that we need to focus on. Green lights for him were cardio, steps, and training. Insanely, the intent that Dan puts in when he's training is awesome. I've trained Dan for probably close to 5 years now, I think. Steps is always on point, and he actually really enjoys cardio. Does a lot of swimming, running, all that sort of stuff. It's important to him, so he loves it. The red light here was the food. So I love the cardio. It was already active. His step count was like awesome. So why would I need to change or tell him to do more of that thing? I didn't. It's like, instead we just attacked the one thing holding him back, which was food. So we used the keep it simple, tasty, repeatable model. But we made it even easier. I didn't even ask Dan to start tracking, everything. It's just protein. And that's it. Like once it became automatic, the other macros fell in line up using the exact same model. Because most people, they don't fail when tracking is hard. They fail because they try and change it every Monday, or whenever the scale doesn't move, or they feel bad in training, or their clothes don't fit properly. You're changing stuff from emotion, not from actual data. Hey, so I forgot to actually put this into the video. So if you have made it this far, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you're like, hey, I can really see myself being like Dan. Well, send me the code word. What secret word should we use? Let's go with change on Instagram to let me know that you've watched this video, and then go ahead and book a call. Both of those things will unlock a little gift that I don't think there's going to be anywhere else that I'll offer it. Anyway, back to Dan. So we built this model around the person. Dan is working as very high-end scientist to do with the brain. I can't remember exactly what it does, but he has diagnosed me as being retarded. So that's something. And really from that point, it's like, okay, well, what are the controllables here? Dan really likes cooking. He's really busy. So let's just really utilize the thing. Okay, super busy, 3 ingredients. It's fast. He really likes to cook. So he experimented with a lot of different things and made it taste delicious, which equals results. Because if we can get it fast and it's delicious, guess what? You're going to probably eat it all the time. And for 90 days, that's great if you can eat the same thing. And the best thing is, because he's tracking everything and it's important to him, he even had room for a few beers on the weekend. You want to notice something here. This isn't balance. He earned this flexibility because he became obsessed with executing the basics first. Keeping it simple, tasty, repeatable are the basics. Tracking that. And then looking like your training model, same thing. His program, very boring. Got the job done. Obsessed with the basics. Balance isn't where we started. Balance was now the reward. More beers, can essentially almost eat like what he wants, and he keeps this condition. Because you don't earn freedom by guessing. You earn freedom through, I should add in here, exceptional consistency. Training smarter during the cut. So we focused on when things got harder. We focused on not just changing exercises, making it easier, doing more pump, blah, blah, blah. Just reduce the volume a little bit. So just drop the set. Because it's usually how much volume that you train at is the recoverable issue, not how heavy you are training at. So as you got leaner, energy naturally dropped. And it's completely fucking normal. So instead of just adding more or like doing pump sets or all the other sort of stuff, we pulled back. Fewer sets, same effort, same intent. Because the goal wasn't burn more calories. It's not training's about. It's about telling his body we need to hold on to this muscle. So lifting heavy and training hard, close to failure, is the number one goal. So remember, the same mechanism, mechanical tension that builds muscle, is the signal that helps preserve it while you're trying to cut weight. If the training intensity disappears, guess what? Your body's going to go, this is really expensive tissue, aka muscle tissue. I'm going to get rid of it. It's really awesome energy fuel, so I'm just going to get rid of it. This is why potentially you've done a cut before and you just end up being a skinnier version of that fat person you were. And again, trusting the process. This comes down to more data. The scale, it stalls, but we had photos and that's where the change happened. One of the hardest parts for Dan and everyone that I help go through a fat loss stage is that everyone questions everything. When the scale doesn't move, what am I doing wrong? But every week we had photos, and these photos told the real story, because the fat cells actually shrink. They don't disappear. Water gets moved around your body. Overall, your body's going to be changing regardless of if the scale pours, if you do everything right. Because even if his weight didn't change, his midsection got tighter, his shoulders looked leaner, and his body's composition just overall kept changing and getting tighter because he stayed consistent with this. His cardio, his steps, his training, and his food. If all four of those things are all a green light, it's only time that you need. If it doesn't change over, say, a month, it's probably worth looking at changing some of the calorie stuff. But in most cases, this does not happen on a weekly basis. This is what matters. The scale reports weight. Photos report progress. So 90 days and some change, minus 11 kilos. Looks like he trains. Now we build. Today, Dan's over 11 kilos lighter, and he looks like someone who trains, which is awesome for him in the gym. He works out of a gym, and this is his words, he's the most jacked person there. And now we're doing something a lot of people just keep going with. They try and stay in a deficit forever. We never sort of reverse out of it and actually start to build muscle and improve. This is what I'm doing with Dan. We're slowly increasing calories to just above maintenance, giving his body a chance to recover from the stress of dieting, which is a big stress, by the way, while creating the perfect environment to start building muscle. More muscle, less fat, you stay looking like this year round. Because fat loss isn't the finish line. It's just the phase that lets the muscle you've built finally show. These are his latest calories, nearly close to 3,000. We dieted down, I believe, down to close to 1,800. So it's roughly 900 plus more calories. So, if you're tired of guessing through another fat loss phase, hit the link below and book a call. I'll help you map out the next 90 days exactly like I did for Dan. And then while you're there, go and watch Dan's interview. I've just put that up. He'll tell you exactly what the experience was like from his side. Sometimes hearing it from someone else who's done it is all the proof you need.